Hey y'all, I'm Abby.
And I'm Keith.
Welcome to our Gen X Live. It has been a minute since we've been behind these microphones.
It's been a long time.
I know. So thank you for your patience. We have made a few changes to our channel, and we're also making some changes to the podcast, and that is going to be an exciting new segment or show that we're calling Gen X Files.
That's right. We've been asking for your stories, and some of y'all delivered.
Yes. So thank you to those of you who sent us some stories. And I know we have a few more coming in soon because some of our friends have told us that they're sending us stories. So keep them coming. We want to have enough stories to be able to do this on a regular basis. But for today, we have 4 that we're going to share. The way it works is you send us your stories. The links are below. Don't do it now. Wait till the end of the show and then send us your stories.
We'll make you YouTube famous.
You might. If we choose your story, we will read it out on our show and share it with the world because Gen X, man, we have some stories to tell.
That's right.
But we want you guys to be part of the show. So that's why we're doing this.
We have great stories, but we know you do too. And This is one way we can share them all.
Welcome to Gen X Files. We are going to start the series with a story from a local person that lives here in Wichita, or that did live here in Wichita, because viewer Doug saw our recent video on Town West Mall, which is our dead mall that
RIP.
Sadly is closed. We went the final week of them being opened, and now it's completely closed.
I drove by there the other day. It looks so sad.
Oh, that is sad. Okay, so I am partially blind because I'm a member of Gen X over 50.
She's showing her age.
I'm going to have to put my glasses on to read Doug's story. Now, the way this works is we don't read them ahead of time. We're going to read them and react live with you guys. So we're all hearing Doug's story for the first time. So Doug says, I just saw your video on YouTube about the closing of Town West Square. You also encourage people to send their memories of Town West. So thank you, Doug, for sharing your memories.
Follow directions.
Yeah, and if you guys missed that video, that will also be linked at the end for you to go back and watch. That was a really fun one. All right, so he says, being a lifelong Wichita resident, 56 years.
Wow.
Did all my school here, graduated from Wichita South, class of 87, and went to college at Wichita State. I literally remember Town West from the beginning and unfortunately its end.
And cradle to grave.
Yeah, well, it did. I believe it opened in the 80s. So yeah, he had it its whole life. So 2 of the major tenants were Wilson's. They later became Service Merchandise. I remember Service Merchandise.
Oh, do you remember you used to have to get the tags and then you had to go up there? Do you want to tell me your little story real quick about Service Merchandise?
Okay, we're going to make it snappy because we don't want to interrupt Doug's story. But yes, we do have a Service Merchandise story. When we were first married, we went to Service Merchandise in Dallas. And
this was one of the funniest things ever.
We didn't have a lot of money, but I saw this really cool, it was like an outdoor chaise lounge. Is that how you say it? Chaise lounge.
Chaise lounge, very fancy.
I wanted it for my patio, like to, lay out or whatever. So it was a really good price. I can't remember how much it was, but it was like.
It was less than $100.
Yeah, like maybe $50 or something. And I was like, babe, can I have that chair? And he goes, yeah, that's a pretty good price. We can get that. So you pulled the tag and then you go turn it in and then you wait a few minutes and they put it on the thing and it goes down like this conveyor belt and then your product comes out and you pay for it. It's very strange. No wonder they don't do it that way anymore. It wasn't very efficient. But anyhow, so we're waiting with our little ticket and the thing comes down and it's not the chair. It's just the cushion that goes on the chair. And we're like, where's the rest of the chair? And they're like, oh, that price was just for the cushion. You only bought the cushion.
And someone was not happy.
I was like, what do you mean we just bought the cushion? The price was on there. We pulled the price. They're like, no, that was just the tag for the cushion.
There was no other price on that chair.
I don't remember.
Except for the one price. And it was on the cushion. But since there was only one price on the whole setup, you would think that that was the price for the whole thing.
Apparently not.
Just the cushion.
Well, By that time, I was so disappointed. I don't remember how much it actually cost, but Keith bit the bullet and bought the whole chair.
That's right, I did.
You did buy the chair, and we had it for many years.
Well, because I was worried the scene that was about to be made.
The 5-foot Fury was coming out.
The Hulk was coming out.
You gotta be kidding me.
So I had to de-escalate the situation.
And that's our service merchandise story.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay, so service merchandise. I did not realize they had service merchandise at the Town West Mall.
That was before our time.
Glasses are coming back
Glasses
on.
back on.
All right. And then they also had Montgomery Ward, who finally opened a second Wichita location. And the other one was in the old Wichita Mall on East Harry, which is kind of more of a strip mall type thing now. So he says, I spent a lot of time at the old Le Mans Arcade. Okay, we had Le Mans Arcade also in Dallas. And then later Aladdin's Castle, which is the one you had.
I know Aladdin's Castle, yeah.
And he frequented Camelot Music and Music Land, bought lots of albums and 45s there. It was bliss.
I miss the days of like record stores and cassette stores and CD stores in a mall.
I know. Now we go to the record store to get these, but
I did that exact same thing.
Yeah.
I rotated between Aladdin's Castle. I'd go there until I ran out of money, and then I'd go to Camelot Records. Well, not Camelot, but something similar. I think ours was called the Sound Shop.
Yeah.
And I would drool over everything that I wanted to buy that I couldn't afford.
Right. Okay. So he was saying that a lot of these places carried 45s from the entire Billboard Hot 100. So that he would just sometimes just buy the 45s, which is wise because they were a lot cheaper. And maybe you don't want the whole album. Maybe the rest of the album sucks and you only want one song. He says, I snuck into the movie theater to see Crocodile Dundee at the movie theater. My parents wanted me to take my little sister, but I did not. So I went there after taking my ACT test at Friends University. Okay.
That's a good reward.
Yeah. Ironically, I think the last time I went to Town West was also to see a movie, Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. There were only a few other movies I saw there in between.
The movie theater's still open.
Oh, yeah, it is. You're right.
It's now called Boulevard, I believe.
Yeah, Boulevard Theater. You're right. Yeah, that's the only thing that's open there still.
Well, that and JCPenney.
And JCPenney. But JCPenney doesn't have a mall entry, and your dad tried to break in.
That's right. Like, Dad, stop.
In case you missed
watch
that video. I also bought tickets for my first rock concert at, I think the store was called The Love Shop.
All right, let's pause for a minute. Well, that's funny in itself.
The Love Shop is a weird
That sounds like something else.
That sounds kinky.
But do you remember the days you didn't just go online and buy tickets. You had to go stand in line or call.
Yes. And ours, in my mall, it was Sears. There was a ticket window that opened to the outside, just the parking lot. And you would go camp out or line up for hours until you got to that window, and then you
hope for the
crossing
best.
your fingers you can get the tickets. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so
Love Shop.
He bought his first rock concert tickets at a place he thinks was called, wait, I didn't finish. It's a Christian bookstore. Sorry, Doug. Our minds were straight in the gutter on that one. See, it's better if we don't read these ahead.
Yes.
The Love Shop, a Christian bookstore and gift store. Okay. The concert features Stryper, a Christian heavy metal band. I do remember them. This fall, October 25th, will mark 40 years since me and my best friend at the time went to that concert at the Cotillion. Wow. Very cool. We love the Cotillion.
I do like the Cotillion. It's a nice little venue.
Our last show we saw there, Little River Band. Yeah. Okay, after seeing your video, it is so sad to see the mall die down like it has. I guess the growth on Wichita's west side drew all businesses out there too. The only place I can compare Town West to would be the Great Mall of the Great Plains in Olathe. I visited there in 2014 before they closed while visiting family. Both places were pretty sad. Personally, I think Town West should be torn down and a Costco put in. Okay, I could get behind that because the west side doesn't have a Costco. In case you're not from Wichita, which most of you are not, Wichita has a river that runs down the middle, and everything here is referred to as East Side or West Side. So we are East Siders. I'm assuming Doug might be a West Sider. So we do have a Costco like really close to us, but if you're on the west side, you don't have a Costco. You have to drive
all the way across town, which is like 15 minutes.
I was gonna say it's like 15, 20 minutes, but we're pretty spoiled around here. We don't have a lot of traffic. So he says they should put a Costco. I like that idea. but the powers that be don't care what I think. LOL. Well, that's about all I can think of now regarding the Town West. I hope you find my memories interesting. Thank you, Doug, and thank you for being the first person to send us a story. That was really exciting.
Yes, and they did come up with an announcement like last week, and they showed some artist rendering of what the place is going to look like, and it's going to be more manufacturing, like more businesses. So
really,
yeah. So they're going to redo the front of it. So facade,
they're not tearing it down.
They're not tearing it down. The facade's going to get a facelift, and I think they're going to try to segment it off in different segments to where different businesses will come in, maybe like call centers or different things will come in, or maybe manufacturing in certain areas. But it looks like they're not going to tear it down. They're just going to kind of give it a facelift.
Well, that's hot off the press. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it looked pretty good. All right, Doug. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. Okay, who's next, Keith?
All right, this one comes from Robbie.
Okay.
All right, let's see what Robbie brings.
All right.
All right. He goes,
I haven't read it.
All right, so it says, just want to say thanks for all the great content you guys provide before I tell you my story.
Thank you, Robbie. Thank you. And Robbie's a longtime viewer. I recognize your name from comments in the past, so thank you for tuning in.
Speaking of my story, it involves me at 10 years old. I'm liking it already.
Okay.
Oh, a BMX bike.
Okay.
And trying to impress a girl. He actually read my mind. He goes, what could possibly go wrong in this scenario, right?
Oh, no.
I was thinking that same thing.
Oh, no.
Yes. The neighborhood I lived in at the time had a lake that people could fish. This particular day, I was out on a bike ride. I made my way down to the lake and noticed a young lady with her parents fishing.
Okay.
Needless to say, she caught my eye, and I thought, instead of going over to introduce myself, I'd impress her with my expertise on the bike. Okay. I'm liking this. I've done this.
I'm worried.
I've done this. The move I decided to go with was a pedal up to the lake's edge and then hit my brakes. I did this twice, and shockingly, she didn't come over and say hello. What was wrong with this girl? So I thought I needed to take it up a notch and brake a couple of seconds later. I'm sure you know where this is going, and the third time was definitely not the charm.
Oh, crap.
I did my move and, of course, didn't hit my brakes in time and proceeded to fall in the lake, bike and all.
Oh, no. That's so embarrassing. The bike, too. How embarrassing.
That would have been embarrassing enough in itself, but at the time, I couldn't swim.
Oh, no, Robbie.
Oh, boy.
Now you're in trouble.
So, of course, I started to freak out to the point of yelling for help.
Oh, no. Was it the girl's parents that had to help?
Oh, I think we're getting there.
Oh, no.
Any Crew Jones vibes in the movie Rad went out the window. The young lady and her parents ran over to help, and the dad, who I thought could have been potential father-in-law material, gave me some good advice to avoid what I thought was going to be my watery grave and that I was to stand up.
Oh, no. Is it not deep?
It wasn't deep.
Oh, no.
After I stopped freaking out, I did that, and even at 10 years old, the water maybe came up to my waist.
Oh, no, Robbie. So embarrassing.
I then proceeded to push my algae-covered bike past the family without saying a word. I thought giving my performance, getting her phone number, wasn't in the cards for me that day. You're probably right.
No digits.
I gave my bike a good rinse with the hose while I took an emergency shower while my parents were none the wiser.
Oh, okay. Didn't tell the parents. It was so embarrassing he couldn't even share it with his parents.
You got to cover your tracks.
Oh, my goodness.
My presentation that day was an epic fail for sure, but I still stand behind the effort that was put into it. I give you an A for effort.
I give you a slow clap. Good job. Nice try.
Nice
try, buddy.
But you probably did dodge a bullet, because if she didn't pick up on your sweet bike skills the first two times, she wasn't
worth you.
She wasn't Robbie worthy.
Yeah. No, she wasn't worthy.
No. That's hilarious. Thanks for sharing, Robbie.
Thanks, Robbie. That was fun. The next story is not about a bike, but it's actually another mall story. But our friend Jason, viewer Jason, sent some pictures of his bike. So
We'll have to share those.
So Jason says since he ran across our videos, it's gotten him nostalgic, and he's been looking at 80s stuff. And he was saying that he wished he had more photos of himself. He didn't have a lot of photos from the 80s, but he did have a handful of rare photos of him doing BMX bike tricks from 1987 that his brother, amateur photographer, had captured. And so he went back to one of his old houses and from 1987 and tried to reenact the photo. So
that's cool.
It was really cute.
Yeah. I like those sweet jams he's wearing.
Those are pretty awesome. So, but now the story is about the dead mall. Because initially we did tell people to send us some mall stories. So we got a couple of those. All right. So Jason says, I just saw your video that you posted about your local dead mall. That's the Town West one. In central Illinois, we have a few malls like that are either dead or dying or already gone. However, one is still open, although I'm not sure how it's doing overall. I haven't been there much in the past several years. Its location is about 90 minutes from where I live now. But in its heyday, Hickory Point was the place for hanging out. I remember it opening in 1978, and it became our family's go-to spot on a Friday night. I think that's the same year my mall, my Richardson Square opened in, because I remember going to the opening when I was a little bitty. Not so much for the shopping, although we did do some of that, but mostly for socializing. Yes, of course. We would pick up my grandpa and head to the mall. My dad and grandpa would grab some popcorn and go for a stroll while my mom would run an errand or two, and us kids would flock to KB Toys and Hobby to check out the latest toys and perhaps beg my mom and dad for this or that. Sometimes we'd grab a bite at Garcia's Pizza or maybe Hardee's. Sometimes my mom would drag us into the dreaded clothing store to try on some clothes. He goes, this is cutting into my KB time. I know, right?
I used to love KB Toys.
I did too. I loved going to the toy store. I don't know. I don't remember if I got to go in there by myself.
Yeah, I just remember the aisles were long and the toys were high.
Yes. In my memory, it had like one of those really long stuffed animal snakes that was like hanging from the ceiling. And I remember thinking it was really cool.
And if you remember in The Legend of Billie Jean, when they were at Sunrise Mall, they went into KB. They went into KB Toys.
They did. They stole some walkie-talkies, but they left IOUs.
That was the Christian thing to do.
It was. So he says, as we got older, things changed as they always do. My grandpa passed away in 1982, but our family still took trips to the mall on Friday or Saturday night. We went to a town an hour away in the mid-'80s as I entered high school. We had a new mall to explore, Marketplace in Champaign, Illinois, even though it wasn't quite the same as Hickory Point. Eventually, video games were about the only toys I was interested in. That and radio-controlled cars. Oh, yeah. Oh, those are fun.
My kindred soul here.
Yeah.
I had the frog.
I had a Tandy one from like Radio Shack, but I thought it was really cool. In the late 80s, we actually moved to the Decatur, Forsyth area and would frequent Hickory Point again, especially now that it was much closer to our new home. The JCPenney parking lot at Hickory Point was the spot where my dad took me out for the first time driving with my permit. Yes, that was a good place to practice after the mall closed. I practiced. I tried to learn how to drive a stick in the parking lot of the University Mall in Nacogdoches, so unsuccessful. I never learned. He said we had a Ford Torino, metallic orange whale of a car.
You could see it coming.
Yes. And I remember pulling out of the parking lot and onto the frontage road and then behind the mall into a subdivision for my first driving experience. Also during this time, my older brother got a job working at Radio Shack.
I miss Radio Shack.
Nice. I had just started at the community college in town and remember getting into radio-controlled cars. One evening, my brother needed a ride home from work, so I showed up right before the mall closed at 9. After it closed, we opened back up the Radio Shack gate and broke out the radio-controlled demo cars. Ooh, scandal.
Fun.
Running them up and down the mall at top speed.
That's
cool.
Oh my
Gosh, that sounds so fun. I'm jealous of your memory. In 1996, I moved away from the area again, about an hour away, taking a job in my career field. Over the past 30 years, on occasion, I still visit Hickory Point whenever I'm back in town. That's cool. For my 40th birthday in 2011, my wife and I took a mini road trip back to some of my childhood stomping grounds. One stop was Hickory Point. I love that.
Yeah.
We stayed at the Homewood Suites right next to the mall, and like Friday nights from long ago, we cruised around the mall to see what was still there. Hickory Point had changed, though. Gone were the original sunken lounge areas next to the opening of the anchor stores. Also gone was KB Toys. But not gone were the memories I still had of growing up in the 70s and 80s and going for a walk with my family back when malls were still a thing. Jason in East Peoria. That is very cool. Thank you, Jason. I love those memories.
Yeah, and you're lucky that the mall is at least still there. The stores are gone and it's changed,
it's
but
good it's still there.
At least the foundation and the walls are still there.
Yeah, because all our favorite malls, sadly, are
going
just
bye-bye.
gone. All right, we have one more story, and this is from a viewer, but also a very special viewer because it's Keith's cousin Shane.
This is from my cousin Shane, and I was telling Abby, I said we probably might just start a segment where Shane and I just tell a story because we have so many. And Shane's memory is much better than mine, so he is unlocking some trapped memories in my brain as he recounts some of these stories. But the one I'm going to tell you, I do remember this one like it was yesterday.
Okay.
Because I'm surprised I'm still alive.
Oh,
after
okay.
this one. I'm surprised my mom didn't kill me.
No.
So here we go.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right. It was July 1986 in Nacogdoches, Texas.
Oh, July. This is an anniversary for this story.
That's right.
Okay.
And I was spending a few weeks with my cousin Keith. That's me.
Yeah. So Nacogdoches is his hometown.
That's right.
We have an older video about that. Oh, we have a video where we visited Nacogdoches with Shane.
We did.
Yeah.
My Aunt Joy, which is my mom, was a real movie aficionado and had a standing appointment with her friend Marie at the local Dollar Theater every Thursday night. So Marie was our neighbor down the road.
And before you move on, I just want to point out that that's the same theater where we had our first date years later.
We went and saw The Sandlot.
The Sandlot.
That's right.
Fun fact.
Yes. Keith did not normally attend with them since he didn't have the same taste in movies, but since I was in town, we decided to tag along and watch a different movie. Joy proudly drove us into town in her new Honda Prelude, a small two-door sports car. It was a great little car, but it didn't have much space for young teens in the back seat, much less any adults. In fact, the size of the car required that Keith and I carefully squeeze in past the front seat to access the back seats. I drove all the way in the back of that car. Shane and I did all the way up the East Coast into Canada.
Was that your car after your mom got a different one?
It was my car, and then it was Shane's car.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
That car really had a life.
It was a great car.
Yeah.
The Dollar Theater in Nacogdoches at the time was in a large strip center with plenty of well-lit parking out front. However, once we arrived at the theater, Keith asked his mom if she could park around back, away from the view of any of his teenage friends who might see him.
Of course you did.
That's right.
I mean, parents are so embarrassing.
That's right. I mean,
wouldn't want to be seen with your mom at the
I was
movies.
13. Those are impressionable years.
Okay.
One wrong move and you're toast.
Aw.
We were only 13 years old that summer, but it was about the age when a teen wants to start exercising some independence from his parents, at least giving us the illusion of independence.
Okay.
As it happened, our movie ended first, so Keith and I waited around in the lobby for a few minutes before we realized the opportunity that had just presented itself.
Oh, no. What did you do?
Joy and Marie were still watching their movie, the last showing of the evening. They were not likely thinking about us kids. It was getting very late, and perhaps they would be so preoccupied by their movie discussion when they exit the theater that they'd forget about us entirely. Perhaps they will, out of habit, go straight to the car and drive home like they would any normal Thursday evening. Keith and I ran around the back of the shopping center and let ourselves into the car using the hide key that we knew existed. Okay.
And now we have to explain this to the younger viewers about the hide key.
That's right, hide key.
Is this still a thing?
So a hide key was this little box. It was magnetic, and you could put a key in it, and you could stick it underneath the car somewhere.
As if the thief is not going to be looking for it at all.
I know, it sounded like the worst idea.
We never used one of those. We used one for our house, but we didn't use it for the car. But I guess, it was a small town, and it was relatively safe, so I guess that was a good idea to have an extra key.
Well, the car never got stolen, so it worked out okay.
Okay.
So
there's a hide a key.
There's a hide a key.
So you guys let yourself into the car.
That's right.
What in the world are you planning?
We disabled the dome light so that when Joy and Marie opened the doors, the light would not come on.
Oh, no.
Revealing us crouched in the back of the seat. We waited.
Evil.
After some time, they arrived back to the car, unlocked it, and got in. They didn't even seem to notice how unusually dark the interior of the car was that was parked in the back of the dark alley, and we waited. They were really into a deep discussion about the movie plot details. We waited more. Finally, they buckled their seatbelts. That was our cue.
Oh, no.
Keith and I both reached around the front seats and put our hands around their necks. The volume of their combined screams may have done permanent damage to our young ears.
I hope so.
It was epic. It was.
Oh, no.
In all our childhood pranks, this one happened to be the most effective. I was glad that we hadn't waited for Joy to put the car in gear because she likely would have driven us into the wall. As scared as they were equally mad once they figured out what had happened. Joy's anger was fierce, but thankfully, so was her sense of humor. She forgave us that same night, but blamed us for her gray hair for the remainder of her life.
Oh, I'm quite certain that you contributed to your mom's gray hair.
Oh, absolutely. She was dying at an early age.
Well, Shane, thank you for sharing that because I don't think I had ever heard that story, and I think he had forgotten about it, and so it was good. We needed to bring that one back.
Yeah, that was one of our best and most effective ones we ever did. A lot of them were stupid, but this one was stupid.
That's pretty stupid.
But it was pretty funny.
Yeah, well, scaring people is fun.
Well, you know, women should really pay attention to their surroundings.
Well, that's true. That's a valuable lesson. You do need to pay attention to your surroundings. Check the back seat, girls.
We were just trying to show them how vulnerable they were to a real predator.
Okay. Thank you for the safety tip.
My mom and Marie should have been thanking us.
Well, maybe they also should have not put the hide a key. That would be another safety tip. Maybe don't use the hide a key for your car.
That's right.
Let's not do that.
That's right.
I don't think anybody uses keys anymore, hardly. No. They all just have the keyless thing now. So it's like a whole new world.
Yeah, who needs a hide a key anymore?
Well, and I could have never anticipated that technology, honestly. That's a technology that I never knew I needed it, and now I love it.
Can't live without it.
The first one I got, it might have been this car, the first time I got that. The other one, you had to push a button. This is the first one I got where you touch it and it opens. Game changer. I love it.
I remember the Ford Escape actually had the little keypad.
Oh, we used to have a keypad.
Yeah.
Oh, memory unlocked.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. You could set a code.
That's right.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's much more convenient.
It's still kind of a great idea if you don't have your key.
If you don't have the key,
But wait, then you can't start your car. Yeah, so all it does is get you in there.
But you at least get into it because sometimes you just need to get in and grab something.
Or sometimes you locked your key in the car, which nowadays the cars don't really let you do that. Yeah. But it used to, that was a problem. Or in the trunk, which was the worst. You put all your stuff in there and close it, and then you're like, oh no. that was the thing. So that might be a reason why people use those extra keys. I don't know.
All right, guys, you brought your A game for the first episode of our Gen X Files.
No, it's the Gen X Files.
The Gen X Files.
Like the X-Files, get it?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Maybe I'll learn it by the 5th or 6th episode.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. This is a new series. I think it's going to be super fun. It's already super fun. These were great stories. Wow. Yeah, they did bring their A game.
Yeah. So, hey, send us more stories. You can send pictures. Send us whatever you like.
Okay, so there's 2 easy ways that you can send us these stories. What are they?
That's right. The first one is our email. So you can send an email to ourgenxlife@gmail.com, or you can go to our website, www.ourgenxlife.com, and you will find a button there that says send us your stories.
Click on that.
Click on that and type away and hit send.
Yeah, and it'll ask you if it's okay to share your name or not. If we do, we'll just share your first name.
That's right.
So But you can be anonymous if it's an embarrassing story. And please send us your embarrassing stories.
The more embarrassing, the better.
Or the more funny or
But keep them clean.
crazy. Oh, keep it clean. Keep it clean. This is a family show. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Gen X rules, doesn't it?
It does.
All right. We'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.
Bye.